Good morning. Welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. I'm Kurt Caraway. This morning we're going to be talking with John Shelton, who is the new director for the Brewery Arts Center. Right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
Care. It's a word we hear every day. But what does it really mean?
It means loving what you do.
Care is respect, dignity, kindness, and joy.
It means being passionate about what you do.
Care is what we do every day.
It means everything to my patient.
I am healthcare that does care.
I am Carson Tahoe. Care. It's a word we hear every day. But what does it really mean?
It means loving what you do.
Care is respect, dignity, kindness, and joy.
It means being passionate about what you do.
Care is what we do every day.
It means everything to my patient.
I am healthcare that does care.
I am Carson Tahoe.
And we're back. John Shelton, how are you doing this morning?
Good, Kirk. How are you?
All right. So you started the Brewery Arts Center. When was the actual date of your official start?
The official start was the 1st of October. The actual start date was October 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So having fun so far?
Yeah, it's actually been great.
All right. So, well, tell us a little bit about you and your background. I know you had some things you were doing in Reno that were really exciting.
Well, yeah, I've been in the area for about 23 years. I actually came to work for the State Arts Council back in 1987, and have been in the arts working professionally for quite some time. After the Arts Council, I went to run the Pioneer Center, which is a 1,500-seat performance hall in Reno. And then I went into marketing, sort of working with nonprofits, and then I was a consultant. And actually still have my consultancy practice, but I'm also working now full-time as the director of BAC.
Yeah, so, and Pioneer Center, that's a really great venue in Reno with lots of great shows, big shows.
Yeah, it is.
There, so.
It wasn't always a great facility. I mean, it was run as a convention facility. It was underutilized, and my job was to come in and turn it into a cultural facility.
Yeah. So, your background in the arts, how did you get involved in that? Is that something you just born in, or you just?
It actually, I think, started. It started in high school because I was in some high school productions, but you don't really know what's going to happen, later on. But when I was in college and I majored in business, I realized that there were just things about the business community that didn't quite satisfy everything I wanted to do. So when I started fulfilling some theater credits, I realized this was really fun, and I really like hanging out with actors and artists and whatever, but they were really terrible at business. So I decided I found my niche and started running house programs and box office operations and things like that in college, and then just stayed with the arts and actually worked for a ballet company when I first went professional.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, as a marketing director, not as a dancer.
Where's the ballet company at?
It was called the American Festival Ballet, which was based in Moscow, Idaho.
Okay.
Part of the University of Idaho campus, etc., but it was a separate professional company. And then we moved the company down to Boise, and then I went to work for the State Arts Council in Idaho.
Okay.
And then I came down to the State Arts Council here back in '87.
All right. And so you've been doing all these different things in performance stuff. Now, the Brewery Arts Center is an interesting art organization because it's got, there's performance, and there's also the art programs and, the video production, things like that. So it must be a good mix for you to...
Yeah, I think it is, because my background's primarily been in performing arts, although when I worked with the State Arts Council, I worked across a lot of different disciplines, doing visual arts panels and things like that. And what Brewery Arts allows me to do is to get into other disciplines and finding ways in which to get those disciplines to work interactively with one another, so that performance is tied in with exhibit, which is tied in with education, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, really exciting opportunities.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break right now and come back after a word from our sponsor.
Never before have two words said so much. I am is what motivates us every day.
I am grateful.
I am is what drives us to treat each patient like family.
I am blessed.
And I am is what you can depend on when you need it most.
I am a survivor.
I heal.
I care.
I am Carson Tahoe.
And we're back. Talking with John Shelton. Now, what really attracted you to doing this, the Brewery Arts Center? What was the thing that really, got you excited about this?
Well, I think it happened across a couple of years, or a few years, I should say. I've been familiar with the Brewery Arts Center since I worked for the State Arts Council, back when Karen Jenkins was the director of the facility. And the thing that strikes you about it immediately is its facilities, its historic facade, and the fact that it's an arts council that actually has facilities, and that's something of a rarity still in Nevada. The real contact I had with BAC happened when I was a consultant working with the board during transition about 5-6 years ago. And I really got to understand the internal workings of the institution and began to understand the possibilities of what could happen here, and that perhaps they hadn't quite reached the potential of what was possible. And when the job came open, I suddenly realized that perhaps this would be a good place for me to submit my resume.
All right. Now, what are your immediate plans here to changes or things that you want to do? What's your focus here?
I think the primary focus is to start focusing on the community itself and the local artistic resources that exist here. The center already has a strong history of doing that in when it was conceived back in the 70s, and then in the last few years it's sort of moved more towards a concert promotion kind of direction, which is not bad, but it's somewhat limited and narrow in its overall scope. And during the recession, you really have to get back to community, and the success and the strength of an arts council is really about the community in which it serves, because we're all in this together. So we've actually created a theme for the brewery right now called Creating Together, which is really about internally getting those various departments to work closely with one another and do that integration I talked about earlier. But it's also about getting back in the community and realizing that we're creating a cultural community as a team within the community.
Okay. Well, I mean, you have a community here that's got a lot of artistic talent.
That's right.
It's amazing how many of the theater productions and musicals, and we have art, art around here like this, and sometimes people don't understand. Think that Carson City is kind of this, just a government capital, but there is a great artistic talent here. So.
No, there is, and I guess there was a report that came out in Business Week a few years ago that actually said that there were a lot of artistic resources here per capita as compared nationally. And I think that there are also wonderful opportunities to establish a presence for what we can do with an arts council here in the capital city and set a standard for how arts councils, local arts councils, can be run on a statewide basis.
Yeah. So, and now, now you also have educational programs, I know, that are very, very interesting. And are you going to be pushing those out a little bit too in order to bring some more folks in?
The primary educational components are certainly the classes that we provide, mostly for visual arts and crafts and that sort of thing. But we also have the Backstage Kids, which is that's sort of a tuition-based kids program that allows them to get direct experience in participating in theatrical productions. We're going to continue those programs and even hopefully be able to expand them. But there's also, I think, opportunity for us to start working with integrated arts education programs that actually get into the school district and actually put artists in front of students, but also put teachers in front of artists, so that teachers begin to learn what they need to learn and how to present core curriculum courses in a more creative way, in a more artistic way.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on and talking to us.
Oh, sure.
And thank you for tuning in to Our Town at Comic Coffee. We will catch you next time.
Care. It's a word we hear every day. But what does it really mean?
It means loving what you do.
Care is respect, dignity, kindness, and joy.
It means being passionate about what you do.